boxing. And get this, the fight will take place during the day on September 13th in Las Vegas. During the day. So Canelo will fight during the day on Netflix just to accommodate UFC Noche later that evening on a different network. So does that mean this fight isn't important? Do they not give a about the fans or viewership? Why is it that Canelo has to fight during the day on Mexican Independence Weekend? And UFC with a roster of names I've never heard of is going on prime time. Cinco de Mayo. He's fighting in Riyadh, and now he's fighting during the day on the biggest weekend in boxing. Yeah, Canelo will fight anywhere. Anytime he's told, because he doesn't give a all he cares is about the money. Doesn't give a about the fans, about tradition, the Mexican weekend tradition. Oh, and Dana. What, now you're turning your back on the UFC?
Oh, it's filthy. Flow of the century. Oscar de la Hoya drops a bombshell. Says that Canelo baby, I was born ready. Canelo versus Terrence Crawford. He's claiming that per the UFC Noche at nighttime, and Dana White, who's promoting it, they decided to put Canelo versus Crawford in the daytime. Wow. In a video, I'm going to break it down. Now, I've already done a longer, detailed video, but I still got more to say. The first video, please check it on the channel, but I didn't get to talk. I didn't get to talk as much as I wanted to because I was playing the whole uninterrupted or mostly uninterrupted Oscar de la Hoya Clapback Thursday. So with that being said, the runtime for the video would have been even crazier if I would have got all my thoughts out. So I'm back with the ego thoughts. Y'all got to rock with it. De La Hoya, but check out that first video. De La Hoya, I do believe he makes a strong case to De La. He clapped back and he cooked everybody that he sent shots at. He also said at the end, he says he's down to work with like Eddie Hearn, Top Rank, Al Heyman, PBC. They're not going nowhere. So this don't look good. I don't care what nobody's talking about. Read between the lines. It don't look good because for me, it looks like De La Hoya is discontented, or he feels like Turkey is like invading and imposing and like moving in on his territory, and then overlooking him as a promoter and others like Eddie Hearn and Queensberry Promotion, Frank Warren, overlooking them type of guys who are at the very least, they're actual boxing promoters who have been putting on boxing events for decades and years or whatever, and giving a newbie like Dana White the red carpet treatment in their biggest fight. I mean, I feel De La Hoya. Like, it's Turkey's money. He could do whatever he want. I get it. You know, he's in charge. But why would you facilitate a first-time boxing promoter, or at least recently, because I think Dana White might have started in boxing years ago before UFC, but we're talking about in the modern era of boxing. He ain't really put on cards as the lead promoter. In fact, when he announced the fight, he didn't even have the correct Terrence Crawford handle. He tagged some kind of fitness. He tagged a fitness influencer. So if you go to his post where he announced the fight, you'll see it's been edited because it says the word edited, and he had to edit the handle because I called him out and people seen it, and I made a post about it and I said it in videos. So don't think they not watching Boxing Ego. I try to tell y'all. So anywho, I mean, you're not even tagging the right fighter. They're trying to build this as a super fight. You cut out DAZN. You cut out the boxing promoters who have been lead promoters for boxing shows. You're bringing in Dana White. Listen, there's so much calamity. This is not going to end well. Anything that has started with this much friction usually doesn't end well. They had to switch the date. They said Dana was on. Then they said and alluded to him being off. Then now he's back on. Dana White's tagging the wrong people. You had even the negotiations. They said Canelo, the deal is off. They said we're in talks and everything's agreed. Days later, they said they're no longer in talks. The talks are dead. And then they threw a Hail Mary and got Canelo back on board. You know what I mean? It's just been a nightmare. And now they're talking about on top of all these other things. And I didn't even give you the full cliff notes because I do that in my content. If you like my delivery, which is steak and potatoes, I give you the boxing news that you can use. Things that are relevant. I'm not sugarcoating it. I earn my stripes. I'm not doing none of that. I'm telling you what it is. You either subscribe and like it, you subscribe and don't like it, unsubscribe. It don't matter. I'm still getting paid. So I'm telling you what it is, and I'm not going to change my style. So accept it for what it is. But again, this thing has been a mess. Now, with the fight being in the daytime, I highly hope that's not true. For one, boxing, why would we take a backseat to UFC? Boxing has produced like consistently bigger live gates. Canelo Crawford is a bigger fight than the assumed fight in San Antonio with UFC Noche. They don't even have any stars right now. Conor McGregor, MIA, he ain't fought and competed in years, and he was injured last time he was in the octagon, right? Dana White, diamonds on, stones look like an octagon, right? Sean O'Malley, he was a charismatic personality. He just lost twice back to back. John Jones, he in Thailand chilling, and it don't look like the Tom Aspinall fight's gonna happen. What stars they have? Back in the day, the UFC had Conor McGregor, John Jones, GSP. It had guys like Chris Weidman, Luke Rockhold, and Chuck Liddell, Couture. Like they had Brock Lesnar, CM Punk. Like they had a lot of names. Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes, Holly Holm, Misha Tate. Like the UFC was full. It was chock full of known, recognizable names. Modern UFC has been like the Georgian dudes and Dagestani and Russian, and people can't get past their wrestling, and they're getting cooked. The people they fighting are getting cooked. You know what I mean? So you don't have the Nate Diaz's, Nick Diaz, and all the talent that you had before in the UFC. So why would boxing take a backseat to that? I hope this is not true. This is an automatic L if they put this fight in the daytime to accommodate Dana White, right? And that's the problem if this is true with Turkey trying to do business with Dana White, is he already has loyalties and commitments to a whole nother organization. So he has to be freed up to try to do both. And instead of just like, you're better off canceling one of them and then doing it in a different date. Like, what are we doing? Like, Turkey is famous for trying to like cram everything into one fight weekend. This is not good for boxing. Boxing at its best is a pretty simple sport. Give us good fights and entertainment and, a nice build-up backstory, we good. Boxing fans are good, period. But when you try to do too much, fight at Alcatraz, fight in Times Square, fight on the Empire State Building like you King Kong or something, like you just doing too much. And then like you got fights that are cannibalizing each other because UFC Noche and then Canelo Crawford, and then one's on Netflix, one's on ESPN. It gets too scatterbrained, if you will. So y'all better hope De La Hoya was lying or got bad intel and Canelo is not fighting Crawford in the damn daytime. That's crazy. They put him in a time slot like General Hospital, Young and the Restless. He like a daytime soap. Like he Ricky Lake, Geraldo. Heck nah.